Hi, this is Charles Dobbins, the multifamily attorney and the host of the Multifamily Investing Academy's podcast. And welcome to this week's episode. I have the pleasure of interviewing Tamera Aragon, and she has been a real estate investor for years, and she has a new event coming up that I'm going to do everything I possibly can to be there. And you can listen to the show and find out exactly where it is and why I'm going to be there. Let me tell you a little bit about Tamera. She decided to become a full-time real estate investor after her first pre-foreclosure deal where she made $80,000 in profit. Isn't that how most of us get started? When we find that first great deal and we think, man, we got nothing but the Midas touch. That wasn't always the case, though, and she'll explain exactly why. Now, she helps others transform their God-given talents and their skills and passions into exciting, highly profitable businesses, while juggling family, friends, coaching real estate investors, and still finding the time to do travel and fun, a nice life balance. And in other words, she lives a day in the life of the multifamily real estate investing. So without further ado, enjoy my conversation with Tamera, and I'll see you on the green aisle. Tamera, welcome to the Multifamily Investing Academy's podcast with me, Charles Dobbins.
Hello.
Hello, Tamera. Now, folks, just so you understand, listen, you are about to watch me in action with Tamera here, because Tamera and I have never met before. We've never talked before. I know a little bit about her. I've read more about her. I can't wait to interview her. But the thing is that she and I have been kind of like on a group chat type of program. So I've been lurking in the shadows.
You've been stalking us.
I'm stalking you, Tamera. I'm not so proud. I've been stalking you, and now I get the opportunity to really find out all about Tamera, and I can't wait. This is going to be a blast. So, Tamera, just let me lay down the ground rules.
Okay. Yeah, this is funny because normally I have sort of a guideline.
Nope. Okay. First off, welcome to, it's kind of like organized religion. I've never belonged to a religion that was organized. My podcast, there are no rules. I'm freedom of speech. You say whatever you want about anything. Nothing hits the editing room floor. And the only reason for that is because my assistant Deb doesn't know how to use the editing button. So that's why everything goes out pretty much raw.
Oh no, I'm scared now. You're putting a lot of...
No. You're going to say whatever you want. Yeah, and I'm going to get you to say whatever you want. And so we are just going to have fun today. I love the fact that
you're have fun.
Yeah, we're going to have fun. And first off, okay, so you're on the West Coast.
Yes.
Where?
I'm in Stockton, California, right flat in the middle of California.
Okay, so you're like that's like the Beverly Hills of nowhere.
Very good. Yeah, people stay here and they say, "Gosh, home of nothing, near everything." I'm about university away from everything.
Like Pacific University or University of the Pacific or
There's
something?
There's actually a lot of things here. We actually have one of I think there's only a few ports on the West Coast, and one of them is actually here in Stockton. We have a lot of waterways, beautiful boating.
All right.
Really? I know it's got a bad rap on media, but Stockton really is, as the motto says here, someplace special.
Hey, yeah, you can have a motto. Yeah, how about Cleveland's motto? Mistake by the lake. I mean, you can have a motto about anything. I mean, I'm sure Stockton does too.
Yeah.
Now, just another thing too is
foreclosures almost the entire downturn, though. So I mean, we have a great market here that is very volatile. That I love how it goes way up.
Yeah.
And it drops. It goes.
That's California.
No, Bay Area. LA.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Those A-class markets,
mm-hmm.
But even I guess you're right.
I can make a lot of money here, or I can lose a lot of money here.
Yeah. And just another thing I forgot to tell you. One time a guy asked me, he said, "What's it like coming to one of your weekend seminars?" And I said, "Well, I'm like the Don Rickles of multifamily." Okay. Now the guy was, I'll tell you who it was. It was Whitney Sewell. I don't know do you know who Whitney is?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So he's this young guy talking about syndication. And And he just kind of stared at me. And I looked at him, I said,
Don Rickles.
I said,
He must have been under 30 or 40.
oh, exactly.
Young guy.
I said, gaggle him. Just go ahead and gaggle him. You'll figure it out. And I said, like, I've watched every Don Rickles YouTube video. The guy's my hero because he says anything. And he loves everybody. And that's the way, I want to do it. So, all right, now we're getting started. First off, 3 days, you did 5 deals while you were on the beach in Fiji for 3 days.
No, I do that all the time. I'm all about lifestyle freedom, baby. That's what it's about.
Okay, now let me tell you something. This is interesting because I had another podcast earlier and we talked about this exact same thing. And I tell you, this is so big for me because I'm 72 years old, Tamara.
You are not 72.
Why? Do I look good?
No, you look real. Oh my gosh, I never would have guessed that. Seriously, I want to know what your skincare is. You maybe have a podcast on yours. No, you do not look. I wouldn't have never thought 70.
Oh yeah.
Your energy level is extremely high. Your skin looks great. If you guys can't see him, if you're on a podcast, he's hot. You're a hot 72-year-old.
See, this is the only way I get compliments, folks, is by telling people I'm 72.
Wow.
All right, you don't need to know my real age.
You gotta be lying.
See, I learned this from my mother. My mother was like, every time she had a birthday, she's like, I'm 39 again. And I'm like, you look like hell for 39. Tell people you're 72 and then you'll get great compliments.
Oh my God, no, you don't even look anywhere near that age.
All right, well, that's what I am. And as far as you're concerned, that's the age I'm staying.
All right.
All right. So, but we talked about lifestyle and how, listen, you get to a certain point and you just got to live the life that you've always dreamed of. And I mean, I jump out of bed every morning because I love what I do. And so talk to me about this. We could spend the rest of our time on this podcast just talking about how you designed your life, how you live the life you've always wanted to live. Talk to me. You
were talking to me about my favorite subject. I mean, I take people all over the world to an event called 7 Days to Freedom.
Okay.
It's called 7daystofreedom.com. We're going to Ireland in the summer.
Oh, stop it. Where are you going? Stop it. Where are you going?
Well, we're fine-tuning the exact location. So until that contract's signed, I don't want to say the name of it.
Okay. So listen, I got to find out about it. I know you probably take women and I'm not allowed to go or anything.
Oh, actually, it's funny. We invite women, but every single time we have guys, and I think they get more out of it than the women, and the women love having the guys there. So,
all right.
I mean, it's all, what do we say? We market to one target market, but we're inclusive of everyone.
Okay. I'm all, let me tell you about living your life. I am going to start going places around the world for a month at a time and still run my business. I told my wife when I designed this business, what I do now, I want to be able to run it from a pub in Ireland. That's what I said.
No way.
Yeah, I totally did. That's absolutely true.
Come in July with me.
I'm coming with you.
You and everyone listening, I'll get you your own little link that you can.
Oh, yes. No, I'm not kidding you. I'm going to promote that for you because I really want to know where you're going because there are parts of Ireland, like for instance, if I did this now, like if I was going, this time I would rent a house on Dingle Peninsula for a month, and just live on I ran the Dingle half marathon. I won my division.
Wow.
I won the females age 55 and over. They never check IDs over there. They never check IDs. So I won that division. And so I want to go back to Dingle and just hang out in Dingle. What a beautiful,
I can't wait to go.
Gorgeous place.
Excited. Well, I just found out, I did that 1, 2, 3 and me thing. And this whole time my dad has French family, didn't even speak English. And my mom's side had German, Aldrich. So I didn't know I had Irish in me very much.
Oh.
And what happened was my mom had remarried. So my real grandfather, I never knew his heritage. I found out I was like 70% Irish. And so now I'm reading this book by Malcolm Gladwell called Outliers.
Oh, yeah.
Have you read it?
Oh, of course I read it. I actually
Okay.
helped him write it.
Well, now I'm excited to learn what the people, I mean, I've never really associated myself with what I am 70% of. So I'm really
Welcome.
forward to.
Welcome to the greatest group in the world. Oh my gosh. Oh, Tamara, we can talk forever on this. Okay, first off,
I should talk about real estate since that's what.
oh, the heck with the real estate. We'll get to that later. We'll talk about that later. But 1, 2, 3, and me. So I don't do that. I refuse to do the chromosome thing. And I actually ask all my family members.
Nothing to hide. They can have it.
No. But the thing is, I ask all my family members not to do it either because I'm afraid that I'm going to be charged with a crime at some point. Yeah. I'm going to be the next Golden State Killer. I'm going to be the next Golden State Killer, and they're going to like, hey, you. And I'm like, running down the street because they looked at my chromosomes. But so where do you think you're going to be going for this trip? Now, I'm not going to hold you to anything.
Let me tell you, hold on. I have to go because I'm, the whole area is kind of new to me. So here, I'm going to tell you,
Tamara,
I want to say a prayer about something.
Tamara,
really,
let me tell you,
it's called.
Oh, I can't wait.
Okay, I'm just going to say the hope. This is just a hope. We're just trying to book the dates right now.
Can't wait.
It's the busiest time of year. It's called Dromoland Castle. And it is like unbelievably beautiful.
Roma, where is it?
That's what I'm looking right now. Hold on.
Yeah.
I don't know the areas that well. I'm looking right now. Hold on. Map. Hold on. Now you're putting me on the spot.
Oh,
this is
Clare.
It says Clare, Ireland.
County Clare.
Yeah, County Clare. That's
it.
it.
You know who lives there?
Who?
Brannigan, Flanagan, Milligan, Gilligan, Duffy, McDuffie, Malachi, Maho, Rafferty, Lafferty, Donnelly, Connolly, Dooley, O'Hooley, Muldowney, Malone, Kelowna, Orlando, O'Lanahan, Flanahan, Fagan, O'Hagan, O'Houlihan, Flynn, Shanahan, Manahan, Hogarty, Kelly, O'Skelly, McGinnis, McGinn. And you can tell him I said hi.
Oh my God, that was
How's that?
No.
Yes.
You got to look up that castle.
Tamara, Tamara, you got to get this information. I so want to go there. I so want to go there. It'll be a blast. Right. We will have the best time.
All right. Well, we have a couple more things in common we didn't know. We have JB.
I know, this is so cool.
Ireland, Freedom, 7 Days to Freedom event. I've been doing 5 years. We've gone
so listen, I'm gonna promote that for you. I want you to, once you get that done, I want to get that out to every one of my podcasts. I'll get that out. We'll make that happen. That'll be a blast. I really want to go. I got to get back to Ireland. It's been far too long. Since I went there last. Yeah. And awesome. And the thing is, I'll probably be, if we set this up and we're talking about lifestyles and we're talking about setting up your lifestyle, what I would do is I would be there a week before you show up at a place. I'd go on your event and I'd hang back and go play some golf all over the country. And
awesome.
Yeah. My college roommate owns a house over there and we try to get over as much as we possibly can. Oh, God.
Wow. Well, I said that to the right person.
You did. I'm about ready to end this podcast because I've had enough already. This is awesome. This is fantastic.
Oh, we got some more meat. We're going to give
We do. Let's talk about, because I think it's so important that one of the reasons, like my students and my clients, they're all coming into looking to get into multifamily business because they want to change their lifestyle. And I don't think they can really fathom how great this lifestyle can be, how freeing it can be, how they can design it any way they want. Like I said, when I told my wife I want to be able to run it from a pub in Ireland, I wasn't kidding. And if I couldn't do that, I didn't want to design it that way. So talk to me about your life. Who are you, Tamara?
Who am I? Well, I'll give you a 10-minute version and you can interrupt me. It's a 10-minute because it's got to be who am I? And then it's got to be how to get into real estate and why.
Yeah.
So,
and then let me tell you something else. It's
a summary, believe me.
I want to hear your failures. I'm all about failures. Okay.
I have a lot of those.
Yeah, I know. You learn so much from them. Look at me. How many? I was born in the Great Depression, and so that was my first real estate cycle. And I've been through every single real estate cycle since the Great Depression.
Wow.
So yeah.
So you have been through the gamut. I might have been through it, but my family wasn't really into real estate, so I wouldn't have known.
Yeah.
So I didn't know that till I was a little. I was still pretty young, but.
Where'd you grow up?
Stockton. I lived in the Bay Area, and I had about 7. I always say I flipped horses before I flipped houses. So I was in Lodi with some acreage, and I had Arabian horses for a while, and I made money on those. That was my first real estate endeavor.
Oh,
Because I've
okay.
always loved horses, and I still have a horse.
California girl.
California girl. Yeah,
Wow.
born, I love horses since as long as I could walk. So, you know, a very large percentage, I don't want to give the wrong percentage, of agriculture comes from where I live, like 70% or something.
Yeah.
So I live in a very backyard. I mean, there's 400,000 people in Stockton, 380 or something like that. But Lodi is right next to us, and, you know, there's just a
That's
lot.
only half the size of New Hampshire.
It's pretty big little city.
Wow.
Yeah, it is. And, you know, I got Napa Valley just up the road, couple hundred wineries. Lodi in my backyard, literally, I'm like pointing my finger right there, 150 wineries. So it's very agricultural where I live.
Wow.
So, and so the average income's not real high. Let's just put it that way. It's not a big city. So that's probably why I do pretty well. And that's probably why it's so volatile. A lot of people depend on other people for work.
Yeah.
And when things fail, you know, everybody suffers here. So a lot of people live here, though, and commute at this point.
Where do they go? Do they go to San Francisco?
Area. Yeah, Pleasanton, Livermore. Tracy's 45 minutes up the road, right over the hill is Livermore, Pleasanton, and then over that is Oakland, San Francisco.
You know, my daughter.
Palo Alto, Silicon Valley, hour 45 minutes away.
My daughter goes to the University of San Francisco.
Oh, okay. Mine goes to Menlo College, which is near Stanford.
Okay.
You know, Palo Alto area. Yeah.
Yeah, my daughter got as far away as she possibly could.
Oh, see, mine kept close. And you know what? You want to know my reason for getting into everything I've done in real estate? I just mentioned it. My daughter. She's 22, and I've been doing this 16 years. So when she started kindergarten is when I started real estate. And my want and desire to be here when she came home and to be a part of her life in a bigger way was a real strong why for me. And my daughter has traveled, I think she's been to over 15 countries. I mean, we've traveled together because we could, because of what I do, my whole, you know, a good portion of her life. And now that she just loves to travel. I mean, her whole thing, she took international marketing. She's looking to get a job where she can.
And she's at Menlo.
Yeah, and she's at Menlo. It's a Harvard rated business school. Used to be part of Stanford. So yeah, she's getting double major straight A's. Amazing. So she's great.
I can't relate to that. No,
I know I'm not a college girl, but you know, it's good lessons there. Good lessons in life, dealing with things you don't like, you know, meeting deadlines. You know, it's a good life lesson she's walking away from, and she's a team player. She likes to work on teams.
Okay, but let's talk about your life lessons, because obviously she's 22. She was forced, so 16 years ago that you was that when you got into the real estate business? About 16 years ago?
2003.
Okay, so you got in when things were starting on the rise up.
At that moment.
Yeah.
At that moment. And I didn't even know it.
Exactly.
I did go 5 years later with the fall. So.
Oh, exactly. Hey, let me just tell you, one of my most, because one of my most favorite topics is talk about the multifamily economy and where we are in the cycle. And everyone wants to know, like, what do I think about what's going on in the multifamily market? And I have to use my education from the last crash and what I learned during that process. I said that this market today is nothing like it was back in 2007, 2008. And I always like, and the best example I can tell people is my most favorite movie, The Big Short. Mm-hmm. And you remember that one? And the scene from that where they say, what I call the stripper scene.
Okay.
Where Stephen Carell is in the strip joint and he's talking to the stripper, and she owns 6 homes on a stripper salary.
Yep, exactly.
And that's when he said, this is all wrong. This is not the way it's supposed to work. And he's absolutely right. But in today's market, we're not in that same situation. It's an entirely different situation than it was back then. So back then, what happened to you? I mean,
well, first of all, I want to say that I've studied the markets pretty extensively, and every 7 years on the button, there's an adjustment. There's hardly been a lot of crashes, I think 2. there's always an adjustment, always up, down, but the up's always higher than the down, down, up, higher, down, up, higher, down, up, higher. We always have come up higher. So the important part is, as you talk about with multifamily, is maintaining your cash flow during those down times. So even though I consider myself the flippin' queen, I I do hold 17 properties and actually just added a triplex, and I'm looking to buy another rental. So I mean, I do both. I buy no matter what I'm buying, the exit strategy, whether it's lease options, whether it's I'm going to fix and flip it, whether I'm going to wholesale it. I buy with the idea of, if this market turns today, what can I do? What am I going to do? Is there enough cash flow? Is this, I don't know about where you're at, but where I'm at, the renters, I mean, if I put something out there for rent, a top dollar line out the door.
Okay.
I mean, the renter market's off the charts right now.
Okay, so let me tell you, that is one of the unique differences between then and now. And right now, we're about to close on selling one of our complexes. And I'm seriously, I'll tell you right now, one of my next podcast calls is with a land guy. And I am looking at buying.
You gonna talk to Jack?
No. Who's Jack?
Jack Bosch. You got to talk to Jack Bosch.
Oh, Jack. Okay, listen, I'm writing that down. And the thing is, I one time did a thing with Jack.
Oh my gosh, you're doing so good with land.
Okay, I'm going to talk to Jack. But the thing is, because I did one of his things. I did one of his things one time in one of his affiliate promotions, and he had all these great, rewards, or if you're in 5th place, you win this. If you're in 4th place, you win this. And so I promoted him because he had a great program, and I was tied for 4th place.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I was doing really well with him. And so the choices were either I could drive a Daytona race car around a track for a mile, or I could get a GoPro. Okay? Hey, Tamera.
I want to race a car.
I didn't know what a GoPro was, so I wanted to race a car too, okay? My kids were like, "No, Dad, get the GoPro, get the GoPro." Yeah, so I got the GoPro. Worked out. But yeah, those were my choices. But yeah, so Jack. So anyway, getting back to what you're saying, in my area here, the market is so hot that you can't.
Second state that you live in?
Right now, I'm in New Hampshire. Yeah. So I kind of I have one, if you're with the IRS, I live in New Hampshire, and I do, but I also have a house in Massachusetts where I raise all my kids. But right now I'm actually physically standing in New Hampshire. And but this is where I was born and raised, and I want to build an apartment building complex, it's somewhere on a border community of Massachusetts in New Hampshire. And so I've been, doing the numbers, working things out, and the big thing is land, is finding the land and making sure you can get the. But the thing is, the reason why I want to do that is because you go on apartments.com and you type in any one of these local border communities, and every single property has a waiting list.
That's awesome.
And now
that's what you look for. I mean,
yes,
you're gonna buy
exactly.
An area, that's what you want. I mean, I got a whole list of criteria and things I look for when I buy out of my area.
Yeah,
and that's one of them.
Yeah. So that's so I'm right there with you. I know exactly what you're talking about. That's why this multifamily market is so different today than it was back in 2007, 2008. So all right, now one thing and this is kind of what I want to talk to you about, is I want to know what a day in the life of Tamera Aragon is like. What do you do? Now, your daughter is in college, so you're kind of, you're just.
I just lay around and watch soap operas, man. I got a free.
No, don't say that. Don't tell me that. No.
Are you kidding me? oh my God, you're going to think I'm crazy when I tell you all the stuff I got.
No, I want to hear it. I really, because that's the thing is, I want people to see what real estate investors' life is like. Like how do you really control it?
So I have 2 VAs. I have a really good direct mail system.
Okay, stop right there. You have 2 VAs, 2 virtual assistants. Now,
personal virtual assistants in Stockton, California.
Oh, really? They're right in your town?
Yeah, because they can do stuff.
Really?
How do I get to go out of the country? Well, I got people that, yeah, and that's not counting a bunch of 1099ers as well, but I got
Yeah.
two people that I could count on. One's been with me 13 years. The other one's been with me a month. So the other, and then before that, I had 1099 VAs, and I wanted someone I could just count on, and I'm really, really busy. I have over 4,000 leads sitting in there to make calls back on right now. I mean, I'm busy. So I want someone that can just be there for me. When I say jump, they say how high, go get that, go do that, go meet that guy, go take that contract, go, make that, send that.
Okay, so you've had one of these for 13 years. So I have a VA.
Assistant is more like what she is. She's
Yeah, but do you physically see her?
I have an office. I pay a couple $100 for a couple of offices they sit in. I'm sitting at home.
Oh, okay. So they actually go.
I go to the office very seldom. I don't need to. I mean, there's no reason. That's why I could go wherever.
Yeah.
So this is my home office. I'm sitting in right now. So I actually have an office that I never go because I don't want anybody working out of my house. That's not lifestyle.
I mean, Tamara, you haven't even noticed yet, but I don't even wear pants for these types of calls.
Thank you for not letting, keeping your camera above the belt.
Well, actually, but the thing is, I have one of these tables where it just kind of glides down like this.
Oh, no, stop.
Yeah.
Stop.
Okay, go.
No, I thought that's cool that you get to stand and do that. I almost like you're making me want one. I'm looking at it.
I got two chairs. Like if you see me move in a moment, I might pull the chair up. I might,
Yeah, but I like the way it looks. I mean, it just looks more energetic. I like it.
Yeah, it's fun.
The
thing is that what you're looking at right now is my, actually, I think you might actually have a little bit of the backdrop show.
Well, I see 97 and 3, and I see a little Mella.
Well, do you know what that says? So 97% who quit are employed by the 3% that never gave up. I love that one.
And that actually fits with the goal setters too, because 3% do goals.
Exactly, that's right. It only takes one, and I tell this to my students. It's like all it takes is one yes, and you're in business.
I love that.
Yeah.
I just did a talk at a 3-day boot camp with John Jackson, who does lease options, the king of lease options.
John Jackson.
I'm going to start going on the road with him a little bit. I had a great time. And my talk was on the art of goal setting, which ironically sounds so boring. I thought maybe that everybody would go to the bathroom and get on their phones. And John said he was really mad at me because when he asked the biggest takeaway from the day before, it was my talk. Because he did a lot of exercises and having people work through their whys and how to do it really quickly and how to get the most out of them. And, so it was just how to 1-up or 10-up, the art of goal setting.
Okay. So, let me stop you right there because I want everybody to see a huge similarity between Tamara and myself, okay? And if you're wondering why we are able to do what we do, it isn't so much of what our abilities or what have you. It all has to do with us designing our lives and setting goals. Because look at this, Tamara got out there and spoke on goal setting. And I want to show you, like right now, here is, okay, I don't know if you can see that. So I use
Paul
full focus planner. Yep, that's Michael Hyatt. This is my goal book for the quarter. This is right here in front of me all the time. I am constantly, I know exactly what I need to accomplish today. And at the end of the week, I go back and look to see how well I did for the week. And I know what I want to, I've got so much stuff going on right now. Tamara, this is what keeps you going. Like if you don't have this, if you don't know where you're headed, life is going to direct it for you. And it's not always the right thing.
Exactly. No,
yeah.
I agree. It's really, really important. And
that
a lot of people. Cool. So I came up with some really good exercises to help people do it. And they were like, the results that happened right in front of everyone's eyes was just amazing. So it was really fun.
Okay. Can I direct the conversation towards that right now? Can we?
Whatever you think your people are most. I could talk about real estate till I'm blue in the face. I
know. But listen, I need to. When I read your bio and talked about things that you and I would be good to talk about, it's really lifestyle. I want people to get the vision, especially here in January.
The tagline for my 7 Days to Freedom event that I do with Donna Parteau, by the way, which has written 35 books, sold one book at $250,000 last year, who's the trainer on this. Her and I do that together. Is design a life and business you love. So the week is about taking time to do, first of all, discover who you are, what's your sweet spot, your icky guy.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard that term? Your sweet spot.
Yeah. No.
Morals. Yeah.
I heard that term before, but it was not complimentary.
Well,
I think it was a high school girlfriend that said that one time. So
you're a Nikki guy, huh? Yeah, no, it's a Japanese term, been around a long time, and it just talks about finding your core of who you are.
It's funny. That's what she told me too. I didn't buy it.
You're so funny. So design a life and business you love, and that's a daily thing. Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you notice I said life and business.
No, absolutely. I mean, this is I like to fashion my business. I try to fashion my business based upon what my father did. And he was 57 years a life insurance agent. And I mean, the guy, he was a widower for, the last 20 years. And he worked every day. And I was like, Dad, why don't you take a day off? He says, why? Every day is the same day. I just love what I do. I just love getting out there. And that's what he wanted.
Man. Good for him.
He was, when the doctor walked in the room and said, I'm sorry, Lenny, there's nothing more we can do. You're just gonna have to make your plans. You got about 18 hours left to live.
God.
Yeah. Because of his heart, they tried everything to do to keep his heart going. And he was totally with it. His first statement out of his mouth was, darn it, I just wanted another 10 years. And you just think about 82 years old, and he was not done yet. And those are the greatest final words you can possibly have. A buddy of mine's father was the same way. And I just think, like, that's the kind of life I want to live. I'm having so much fun.
Yes, that's how we are. I can tell by your energy you are too.
Yeah.
So
it's a blast. It's
that's
a blast.
because we've designed it. You've said you have a path, what's good for you.
Exactly.
You're living it.
Exactly. Totally. So give me some pointers. Like, what did you teach these people on that at that Jack Johnson or John Johnson event? Like, what were the exercises that you did?
Okay, so here's an idea. We did a lot of different things, and of course it was a whole talk. But at the end of the day, I had people take a piece of paper, and I gave them a 3-minute timer, and I was going to give whoever came up with I said, lay your pens down, just listen to me. I want you to get out of your analytical side and into your dream state of what you want. And if a baby needs a new pair of shoes, I want you to write it on this list. So when I say go, and you're going to have 3 minutes, I want you to write down, without analyzing it, everything that comes to your mind that you want, everything. So then I'm going to give a prize to whoever stands up and shares what you did, what you decided what you wanted in 3 minutes. Now everybody says goals takes a long time. I'm going to give you 3 minutes. And then I'm going to tell you the next step on what to do with that. So then they did that. 2 people, over 25 on one list, 20 on the other, and they were powerful. I cannot believe when people got out of their analytical mind and really just, because people are like, well, I don't know if I'm going to have time to do that. And, and you just overthink this stuff. So then I tell them after that, and it was like, start a nonprofit for this. And I mean, these people, each of them, a woman and a man, that won this and everybody had a really good list. They weren't baby want a new pair of shoes. The thing that came out of our heart was thrown into this paper. And then they did that. And then I said, now I want you to rank them ABC. A is 90 days. B is this year. C is sometime in the future. That's all. ABC. So now you got this you did 3 minutes. Now I want you to take another 5 minutes of those 20 things and rank them. ABC. A, 90 days. B, 1 year. C, sometime later after this year. So then you do that. Then you're going to take your 90 days, you're going to ignore the rest of the stuff. You're going to look at your 90 days, and now you're going to set out a plan to meet that goal. And then I gave them another sheet that let them set out their weekly, like you said, your weekly. and it not only does the weekly have what you're going to do, but it's what's going to stop you, what do you need to learn, who's going to help you. So your weekly list isn't just what you want, it gives you some tactical ways of looking at it about what are you missing and what do you need. So you want that, but I don't really know how. I want to buy a house. I want to buy an apartment complex. What am I missing? How am I going to do that? Who's going to help me? Who's going to stop me? Who's not for me? So it's a whole nother sheet for that. So that was it. That's what we went through. And it was really fast and people walked away with their lives changed. And of course, before that, we talked about their why a lot.
Okay.
We dug into the reason.
Let me tell you the 2 issues that I have with what you said. I don't mean they have anything to do with you. No. Okay. So let me. Okay. So I was using the Michael Hyatt planner,
Amazing.
and so you said you gave them 3 minutes to write down.
Yeah, I had an hour talk. It was just,
Okay. And I'm going to tell you what problems I have with what you said, and you've helped me here. So I get the planner, and at the beginning of the book, it says annual goals. Okay. In a whole day, I came up with 3.
That's the problem.
Okay.
Yeah. So what happens is, okay, so right there, what most people do is it's such big stuff, and people have a low self-esteem a lot of time. They don't have the confidence in themselves, I'm finding. So I make it easy by saying, get out of that right side, stop overthinking it. What do you want? You want a new house? You want 10 apartment complexes? You want a pair of shoes? You want a new car? You want to take trips? Where do you want to go? You want to give back? Write down, just write it down. So you write it down before you come up with the timeline. So instead of doing the timeline, I want to do this in a year, and then, so mine is the other way around. I do, what do you want? And then timeline it out.
Okay. Now the second part of the issue that I had, you kind of talked about in just that thing. And let me just say it. I think just as an aside, my daughters, I have 4 kids, and I always say 3 of them I really like. And then I also say that children are overrated. So anyway, I'm just kidding. But I was sitting down talking to my daughters, who are absolutely awesome. And she says, Dad, do you ever feel like, does anyone ever intimidate you? Do you feel inferior? Do you feel like, you lack self-aware? Or
We all do. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Oh, well, I said no.
I
don't. Nothing. Listen, I don't have enough time to worry about what someone else thinks about me. I've got a certain amount of time. Okay, so let me tell you, Tamara, this is just between us girls here, okay? So I tell that, and I honestly believe that to be true. But the second thing I wrote down here as an issue is the fact that I think part of the reason why I only came up with 2 or 3 goals here was I was afraid that somebody would think weird about what I consider to be a goal of mine.
And you just said you don't care what anyone thinks.
I know, but I didn't realize it until you just said that. And so
see what I do? I bring it out.
I know. You
powerful stuff.
Oh, you sly dog, you. Oh, you
should have seen the whole thing.
Little cheeky monkey.
It actually started much deeper and then went light. So it was really
so powerful. So I'm afraid, like, now that you're saying they're like putting down new shoes, like, well, I mean that's silly, obviously. No, it isn't silly. Don't say any goal is silly. Don't say any goal is silly, because
I wanted a $400 pair of shoes. That might be on my goals list.
There's a $700 coat I want to buy.
Put that on that list.
Listen, I can afford a $700.
Exactly, but you haven't bought it. Why haven't you?
Because I just feel weird about spending that kind of money and it's a beautiful. And
well, another thing I teach people to do when they set their goals is to set a result if they don't achieve them and a reward if they do. So maybe that could be a big reward for one of the things over the 90 days that you actually achieve that you can reward yourself with.
Or if I do everything well over the next 90 days, which I always do everything well, Tamara.
No, man, I know what everybody's intimidated by you. You're like, I'm not afraid of nothing, and I do
exactly. I
want to be.
No, but okay, so that's cool. So you do a reward, a result, and a reward.
Okay, so what's a result? Pick weeds. Go an extra half an hour on the treadmill. It could be just something you just really, and you can do these on day to day. You can do them every week. But make it hard on yourself if you do not, and make a little gift. If it could be little, it depends on the goal, how big or small it is.
So tell me about your goal setting process. Tell me like how, like, you saw mine. I love this. I took this to lunch with me to make sure I'm on track this week. How do you do it?
Hold on. I have a Word doc that I categorize by, I keep it simple. Seriously, it's big, it's four pages, but I separate it out by categories of relationships and, different businesses, online business, property business, spiritual, different things. And then I take that list and every day I look at it. And then I have what my whys, well, my whys are, I want to make a difference in the world. And my whys are, I don't want anybody telling me, what to do or how to live my life. My whys are, I want to give back. I have 2 kids right here. I'm looking at, by the way, you see me looking around a lot. If you do, I have pictures in front of me of everything I want. Everything I want. I'm really visual. Oh, is that what you want? That's not what I want.
Like
How you want to aspire to be?
like Ronald Reagan.
Hey, he's got some good things about him. You can.
I tell you, I have 4 kids, and you should see.
No, these are my foster kids.
Oh, okay.
So I have actually not foster in-house. I don't have time because I travel too much. But at CASA, court-appointed special advocate for some kids that I meet.
Okay, good.
Hours, make sure they're taken care of. I'm just saying, whatever that is for somebody else, put around you or get in front of you. Some people are visual. Maybe that's not important to you or somebody else. But for me, I'm a visual. I keep motivated by what I see. So I read my big, long hanging goals list every Sunday. And then
let me just say for everybody listening, Sunday is a great day for this. That's when I sit down. I wake up in the morning, I get my coffee, and that's when I pull out this book and I map out. I look to see how I did the last week. I look to see what I have to do next. Sunday is a phenomenal day to do this.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's for my week. And then I have my dream big, what do I want to do in these each different categories of health, business, relationships. What am I going to do to keep my life balanced that week? What I call it, sometimes I don't use the word goal. So I say, what am I going to do? What am I going to achieve?
Yeah. Yeah.
And what are those things that are going to stop me? What do I need to learn? Who's going to help me? So that's my week plan from my big goals. Then I look at my calendar. This is very important because a lot of people say, yeah, I want to do that. And then they don't calendar in the time to do it. You calendar in the time. I don't mean it has to be every little detail, but like a little arrow, like I'm going to do. There you go. I love that you're a hand calendar person.
Oh yeah, well that's the thing. Let me tell you something.
I'm a Google freak, so Google Calendar, Google Tasks, Google.
Okay, so I went to Michael Hyatt's best year ever about 2 or 3 years ago. Yeah, and let me tell you something. That year, I had my best year ever, and I did. I really did. And so I didn't go back the next year, what have you. Then he came out with this full focus planner, and the whole shtick behind it was that it was analog as opposed to digital.
Right.
And because he used to sell books, he printed, he's a publisher. And so I thought, okay, fine, I'll go along with his shtick here. I love it. I absolutely love it.
Whatever, you know what, whatever works for people, as long as you got a system and you're doing it.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
I mean, if that's working for you, that could work for a lot of people. I enjoyed technology. I put like if I get I have my Google Tasks, then every night before I end my day, whenever that is, whether it's in the evening or, I'm going to leave my computer now and finish it up. I go through all my tasks, make sure they're put on my calendar. And, I kind of at the end of my day, just like at the end of my week or beginning of my week, however you want to do it, I take what I've done, check it off, it's done, and set my next day's game plan. Pretty much similar to how I do my week. I do every day. Literally, I'm very diligent about that.
Me too. Absolutely. Every day I know what I'm doing. And I try to do it the night before a little bit if I can, because that really gets me fired up when I wake up in the morning. It absolutely gets me going.
Well, they say make your mind kind of think about things too in that direction. And you might even get creative ideas for the things you're going to work on in the evening, because your brain keeps working when you sleep, unfortunately.
So are you going to, when we're done, are you going to be able to go back into your Word document under the relationship section and cross out the one that says start a relationship with Charlie Dobbins? Are you going to be able to
I get to mark that off my bucket list. Yes. Awesome.
Me too, Tamera. I'm so excited.
Oh my gosh, you're such a crack up.
Oh, that's so good. So cool. Listen, all right. Now tell me something. What is it that in the course of a day, when do you end your day? Because let me just tell you, the people that I just put on my podcast, we're talking about the same situation, and their thing was a 4-hour day. And I said, listen, that's awesome. I don't think I can do that. But the thing that I am really going after this year is I leave Friday wide open. Now I'm a pilot. I like to go flying. I want to go flying on Fridays. I try to leave Fridays open, and that's that. But I'm easing into it. It's not as easy as I thought. I'm slowly easing into it. So, like, what is it about your day? What's about your week? When do you change, or when do you take advantage of the
Oh,
lifestyle that
that's
you
funny.
create?
I mark off Monday mornings. I mark up Friday afternoons. I don't let anybody schedule any appointments for me on Saturday and Sunday.
Oh, never,
So,
never, never.
so that really leaves me Monday afternoon to Friday afternoon to fill for my VAs to do appointments. And then around that, I approve them. So you're asking about
What time of the day do you end? When you
normal
tell them not to
around
book any
dark time,
appointment,
whenever it's dark, 6:37. But I'm kind of a workaholic. I really like, you're saying end. I don't watch TV.
yeah.
I read. I wake up at 5 in the morning. I'm one of those Miracle Morning. You ever heard that book? I've been doing that a
Oh,
long time where I get up early in the morning. Have you ever heard of that book, Miracle
I
Morning?
did. I actually think I have it, and I saw that come up the other day, and I thought, where have I
Yeah.
heard Miracle Morning
Well,
before?
it's teaching what I was
Yeah,
doing, but basically it's just doing things a couple of hours before anyone else is up. So spend time
yeah.
with God, look at my day's plans, have a nice breakfast. I work out every day, go to the gym, have a regimen for that. Plan my
When do you
how
when do you
what's my
when
day.
do you when do you play the piano?
I usually do that in the middle of the day, actually. Kind of keeps my creative side going. So when I'm
Wait,
home,
hold on a second. Hold on a second. I
I don't do
was
it in front of anybody.
I was semi sort of
How do you know I play
joking.
piano? Who told you that? Was that
I
on?
did not. You never done. Oh, no, no, no. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, I play piano.
I did not know.
But only for myself.
Because I do too.
Oh,
Because
I thought,
I
did
just threw
somebody
it out
tell you?
there. No, you didn't tell me this. Hold on a second here. Okay, like, are you really good, or are you just kind of like this?
Well, I was offered a scholarship to Juilliard when
Wow.
I was 12. No, but let me finish. And then I quit. Long story short, quit. Sold my piano. Had a big old thing happen. So I just started doing lessons again a couple of years ago for fun. And
Oh,
now I stopped doing lessons because, she was like, man, you're like 5 years in and I've been here 2 months because it just came back really fast. So now I did decide that I don't really want to play for other people, but it helps me to bring that because I'm very right brained. I'm very the bottom line number, strategic. And it helped me stay on the more creative side of my brain. So it helps me to let that go. That and horses. I go out and it's kind of hard to mess with a 1,000-pound horse and think of other things. Do that at least once a week. So I
is
love.
it so? Because I mess with my 1,800-pound horse, which is my plane,
There
and
you
so
go. So see,
yeah.
same.
But I'll tell you something. My mother, you're gonna laugh at this. You're gonna laugh at this. My mother won a piano on Sale of the Century with Joe Garagiola.
I don't know who that is.
Oh, you don't know that? Oh, he was a catcher for the St. Louis
Oh,
Cardinals.
see.
But back in the 50s, but he was a game show host in the 1970s. When I was in third grade, my mother won a piano, so I was supposed to start taking piano lessons. Never stuck with it, but always loved the piano. And through so many fits and starts of my life, I've taken piano lessons. I've stopped. So now I have a house up here in New Hampshire. I have a house down in Duxbury. I have pianos in both homes. I
That's
have a teacher. I just last year I started with this teacher. The guy is phenomenal.
that's
He's
awesome.
unbelievable. So helpful. And I was taking half-hour lessons then. Now this year I'm at an hour-long lessons,
That's
and
awesome.
I don't watch the TV. When I come back I play the piano, and
Yeah,
that's my jam. So I play the piano and I fly planes, and
that's awesome.
I know. Talk about designing your life. I honest to God, I had no idea you played the piano.
That's
I had
funny. I
no
thought
idea.
you were asking. I'm like, who told him that?
No, no,
That's
nobody told me
awesome.
that. I just threw that out there like, hey, what, like, this is my
For
escape.
example.
What's your
Yeah.
escape? Yeah, yeah, exactly.
No, I love to read. I read several books, at least one or two a week.
Oh, and by the way, for everybody, it's called The Miracle Morning by Hal Elrod.
Yes.
And it's narrated by Rob Actis on my audible.com. It's already in my
Yes.
library. That's how I knew that
It's a
one.
really good. It's a really good for those that
Short
say they
book.
can't get up in the morning. It's a really
Yeah.
good. He helps you with that.
You know, another one for talking about good in the morning is Make Your Bed.
Okay.
You make your bed. That was done by an admiral in a Navy SEAL admiral. Let me see if I can find that one because that's a good one. Because now every morning for Make Your Bed by William McRaven. He was a admiral in the Navy, retired. And it was just a great book talking about, hey, listen, start your day the right way. And that's exactly my day. You know, as a pilot, everything's done by checklist. I have a checklist every morning of what I do.
That's actually in my talk, just like that. You don't have your checklist, you lose it, things get out of whack and fall apart.
Oh, I tell you, and the thing about the phone is, look at, I got this MVP checklist, right? Yeah, and I click every morning, daily home task, daily office task, daily health task.
Perfect.
And you just go through it.
A system.
It's all about systems.
It really
all about systems, sister.
It's definitely, I used goals. In fact, I did a visual where I don't have it with me right now, but a key to a car. And I just said goals is like this key. It starts your engine. You still got to press on the gas and do it.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, the little wheels in the engine are the things that you're talking about that make it work. So I kind of use that, you know, visual a little bit. You know, in other words, people think you have goals. Well, that's it. No, it's just the key. It just turns it on. It just activates things. So
Tamera, awesome guest, man. I'm so glad I met you. I think I can't wait to meet you in person in Ireland.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, I'm not kidding you. This is going to be so cool, and I'm going to get this thing ramped up for you, because I'm telling you.
I'm excited. Thank you for saying so. I mean, I just felt like it was a God thing that you know, has meant to be, because
this is so cool.
Because we're just now, just want that place to be available. I mean, we're working on it, and they're working out they have a meeting room, and the place grounds are amazing, and horseback riding, a golf course. I mean, the place is amazing.
I mean, the fact that it's a castle, let me tell you, the first time I went to Ireland, all I wanted to do was hear Irish music and go to a castle. And I spent a whole week there playing golf and never once saw a castle and never once heard Irish music.
No.
Like, oh no, I'd walk into a bar, they said, hey, any music? No, that was last night. I'm like, oh, are you kidding me? Everywhere I went, it was like that. It was terrible. So, yeah.
So no, we don't want that. We want to set it up for what people have this vision for it to be. Yeah. So what's the takeaway that we can, you know, I just want people, because I feel like, you know, we chatted, and hopefully, what do you think people learn from this?
I want people to realize that they can live a phenomenal life, a life that they design in this business, but it's all about setting the goals and doing it on a daily basis. You and I are living examples of what can happen when you do that. I mean, I'm, like I told you, I'm 72, so I've done this all my life, and this is, you can end up at the age of 72 with all of these successes the same way. And I look at Tamera's looking at me like, wow.
Well, what I'm thinking is, I'm 57 and I've been doing this 16 years. So I mean, you could, or the guy that I did the event with was 30, and he's been doing it since he was 19. People don't have to wait till they're 72 to live the life they love.
But also, it's never too late to get started.
The other way. Exactly. Never. Age is not a factor.
No, really. Are you kidding me? I've chosen, and I've actually had a conversation with God about this. I've opted not to die in this life. It's not gonna be for me. My father passed away. My mother passed away. That's not for me. That was very sad.
You and Jesus. I'm just kidding.
Tamera, you are awesome. I tell you.
You want to see what's above my head? Hold on.
It's all good.
There you go.
It's all good. What do I have?
I painted on my wall just to remind everyone. Remind me just when I'm like having a moment. I'm gonna look. Okay, there's something good in this.
It's all good. We'll get through this. It's all good.
Exactly.
Amen. Awesome, Tamera. Thank you so much. You're awesome. You're the best. I cannot wait to meet you in person. I really can. I know we will. I don't know where it'll be. Hopefully it'll be in Ireland.
Ireland. Let's do it.
No, I'm not kidding you. I'm not kidding you.
You're doing an Irish jig together.
Oh, I was a New Hampshire State Junior Masters champion at the Irish jig.
Well, you're going to outdo me then. I'm going to have to work on my steps. I haven't got that yet.
Actually, I think you're safe. I think you're pretty well safe. So.
All
right, kiddo. We will dance in Ireland. That'll be awesome.
Thank you.
See you later. Thanks, Tamera. Bye-bye.